Okay. You can write while I talk. Okay, so today we're doing section 6.3. It's very much like we did yesterday, except it's kind of the reverse. So yesterday I was like, hey, these are parallelograms. What's true? Today I'm going to be like, this is what we're looking at. Is it a parallelogram? So it's yesterday, but backwards. All right, so you don't need to write any of this down because these are the 4 properties we wrote down yesterday, okay? So yesterday, we wrote down this same stuff, but the converse. Do you guys remember what converse means? The flip-flop. So yesterday, we said, hey, if it's a parallelogram, then all these things are true. Today, you just need to remember that if any of these things are true, then it's a parallelogram, okay? So that's why I'm not going to make you write all this. You should have something very similar into your notes already. So the things we're going to look for. We're going to look for opposite sides congruent. We're going to look for opposite angles congruent. We're going to look for consecutive angles supplementary, so add to 180. We're going to also look that the diagonals bisect each other. If any of those things are true, we're going to say, yes, it's a parallelogram. Okay? Pick your favorite 2 and draw them. So for number 1, does it fit any of the 4 properties we learned yesterday?
Yeah.
We learned 4 properties yesterday. Does this fit any of them? Yeah. Which one?
3, I think. No.
1 and 2.
1 and...
This is actually... Don't give me the number. Give me what the property says. So do you see how this is congruent to this? Do you see those? Congruent? These 2 are congruent? Okay. So the property that's happening here is that the opposite angles are congruent. Hey, thanks. All right. The other one that you could use here is that consecutive angles are supplementary. Because if you do 119 plus 61, you'd get 180. So either one of those would be fine. Okay? Number 2, is that a parallelogram?
No.
No. Why not?
The angles are.
Yeah, you can't just say the angles. Because technically a couple angles are congruent, but they're not opposite angles. So I'm going to say opposite angles not congruent. Number 3. Number 3, is that a parallelogram?
Yes.
Yes. Why? Those aren't angles. Those are diagonals. What do we need to know about diagonals? Excuse me. Diagonals, it's a B word. Bisect each other. Yes. And number 4.
Yes.
Yes, why?
Lines are.
Lines. Opposite. What are those?
Sides.
Sides. Congruent. So I'm going to make a list on the board. The 4 things. Opposite sides congruent. Opposite angles congruent. Consecutive angles add to 180. Diagonals bisect. Those are the things we're looking for. Any questions on these 4? Okay, I'm going to go to the next 4. You don't need to draw the next 4, but I want you to see if you can come up with the answers. So yes, why, no, why. I'm going to give you like 3 minutes while I write the ways on the board, okay? Yes. All right, number 5, what did you come up with? Yes. Why? We don't know anything about the sides. we have next door neighbor angles. What do I need to know about these? They're consecutive angles, and they are supplementary. So you would say yes. Consecutive angles, sup. Or you could say add to 180. But make sure you actually check that, okay? I just did it in my head. They do add to 180. Number 6, is that a parallelogram? No, it's not actually. So the reason here, the diagonals, like, let me use my pointer. So like these two are congruent, these two are congruent. They need to be like along the same diagonal congruent. So this one and this one, this one and this one, if they bisect each other. So this is going to be a no. Diagonals do not bisect each other. Is each other one word or two? I think it's two, actually.
Two.
Thanks, not an English teacher. All right, number 7, what do we think? I'll give you a hint. It's the same rule. But is it true or not true this time?
Yes.
Do these two match? They're the same diagonal, the two sides match. This is the same diagonal, the two sides match.
Yeah.
So this one is a yes, the diagonals bisect each other. Mm-hmm.
When I first saw you, I did think you was an English teacher. You look like an English teacher or a science teacher.
Why is number 8 a no?
None of the things match.
Yeah, the opposite angle's not congruent.
Why you said it?
So you knew that the not was the important part. Not congruent. All right. That is our whole lesson today. So the next slide is already the summary. When you're down with this one, we'll do that. Today, we learned. What?
We learned showing.
Quadrilateral.
Yes. We learned showing, I'll just say showing parallelograms. Because it says showing quadrilaterals or parallelograms, everything we're looking at has 4 sides. So they're automatically quadrilaterals. We're just trying to show if they're parallelograms or not. All right, shortest lesson ever. Here comes your homework.